Hi, Jesseline. How are you today? It's Tuesday. We made it through the very beginning of the week. I always say that Mondays is the hardest day of the whole week to make it through, and we did it. So the rest of the week's going to be smooth sailing, right? Okay, now don't forget. So Isaiah had his birthday, and we celebrated it yesterday. Jeremiah's birthday is coming up. So we have a lot to be celebratory over. And Friday is Johnny Appleseed Day. And in a few minutes, I've got something that I want to show you with that. But first, I want us to do our Bible lesson today. Yesterday, what did we start talking about? Do you remember the video that you watched, the story from the Bible that we're talking about? Yes, about Noah. Noah's the man that he built that great big ark, right? And then there was a flood over all the earth, and it destroyed everything except Noah and his family in the ark with the animals that were on the ark. Now, remember, when did sin come into the world? We talked about that last week. The week before that. When did sin come into the world? Yeah, so sin came into the world when Adam and Eve ate of the fruit that God told them not to, right? And when sin entered the world, man, there was a lot of people that just started sinning, and they did not put their trust and their faith in God. And God had enough. He said, that's it. I am destroying everything. Now, why did he save Noah, though? So, Noah and his family, remember, were followers of God. They were believers. Does that mean that Noah never sinned? No. Did that mean that the members in his family never sinned? No. The only person that ever lived on this earth that never sinned was Jesus. But Noah and his family, they sinned, but they also did their best to live a godly life. You can sin and still do your best to live a godly life because we're human. That's what we do. We sin. And God knows that. But God saved Noah because out of all of those people, Noah was the one that was sticking out, that was following God and trying his best to make good choices, and nobody else was. How about you? What are you doing to have a life like that? Are you standing out? Can people look at you and say, "Oh, there's something different about that person. Oh, there's something different about them. They don't act like everybody else." Or are you just like everybody else and you don't portray somebody who is a believer of God? Now, it is easy. It's easier said than done. But if we do our best to live a godly life, we will stand out like Noah did. And God he's already proud of us. God loves us and he's always proud of us. But when he sees that we are trying to do what he has asked us to do, man, God rejoices. And he will. And he will bless you for it. So be like Noah and stand out. All right, that was kind of a short lesson today because I want to show you something. But let's sing, and then we'll do the rules, and then I want to show you something. All right, so we're going to learn a different song about Noah. I've decided. I think that's what we need to do is learn a different song about Noah than when we started learning yesterday. So let's do this song. Okay, so it goes like this. The Lord told Noah to build him an arky, Lord told Noah to build him an arky, build it out of gopher, barky, children of the Lord. Because that's the first verse. So it goes, the Lord told Noah to build him an arky. Okay, it kind of makes fun of the words a little bit. And then you say it again, and then he says, build it out of gopher, barky. Okay, can you try that with me? The Lord told Noah to build him an arky, Lord told Noah to build him an arky, arky, build it out. Oh, go for barky, barky, children of the Lord. Good job. All right, we'll get it. We'll keep working. Okay, let's do, since we're learning about boats this week with Noah, let's do the Peter, James, and John sailboat. Can you get your sailboats out? If you don't know this song, you will learn it. Okay, it's easy. Okay, here we go. Peter, James, and John in the sailboat. Peter, James, and John in the sailboat. Peter, James, and John in the sailboat out on the rolling sea. They fished all night, but they caught no fishes. Fished all night, but they caught no fishes. Fished all night, but they caught no fishes out on the rolling sea. Long came Jesus walking on the seashore. Long came Jesus walking on the seashore. Long came Jesus walking on the seashore out on the rolling sea. Cast your nets on the other side. Cast your nets on the other side. Cast your nets on the other side, out on the rolling sea. They caught their nets so full of fishes, caught their nets so full of fishes, caught their nets so full of fishes, out on the rolling sea. Okay, good job. All right, guys, we're actually not going to do the books of the Bible today because we're kind of pressed for time here, but we are going to do our memory verse and the rules, okay? So let's do our memory verse first. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Everyone has sinned. No one measures up to God's glory. Romans 3:23. Okay, excellent job. All right, let's do our rules, and then I got one last thing. Okay, I have got them with me, and I am going to say the first part, and you're going to say the second part. So when I go like this, I'm talking. When I go like this, you're talking. You're going to finish the sentence, okay? Okay, here we go. Listen and follow directions. Raise your hand. Respect others with your words. Keep hands and feet. No cell phones, electronics, or toys. Respect the. No illegal drugs. Remain seated, facing the front. No kicking balls in the gym. Stay out of the. Hang up all. Remain seated. Delayed obedience. And the last one, keep your shoes on your feet. Good job. Okay, guys, that is all for our devotional today. Now, I have brought with me a story to read to you. It's about Johnny Appleseed. We are talking about Johnny Appleseed this week, and then Friday, we're going to have Johnny Appleseed Day. Now, some of you, we've been talking about this, some of you have been saying, I don't know who Johnny Appleseed is. Okay, well, this story is going to tell you the most about Johnny Appleseed that I would think that you need to learn right now, okay? All right, so pay attention. Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed was born on September 26, 1774 in Leominster, Massachusetts. His real name was John Chapman. So basically, this man, Johnny Appleseed, they gave him a nickname, Johnny Appleseed, but his real name was John Chapman. Johnny Appleseed lived on a farm. His father was a soldier and a farmer. Johnny's father taught him how to plant. Johnny Appleseed loved apples. His family picked apples in the fall and stored them for the winter. They made sauces, apple butter, cider, and vinegar with the apples. When he grew up, he wanted everyone to have apple trees. Johnny walked, rode a horse, and paddled a canoe many miles with a sack of apple seeds. He planted orchards of apple trees in many states and sold the land and apple trees to settlers. He used the money he made to help people in need. That's pretty cool, huh? Johnny Appleseed was a friendly and humble man. It is said that he wore a pot for a hat and a burlap sack as a shirt. He loved animals and was welcomed by many people he met during his travels. So the thing about the pot on his head, that was just a legend. A legend doesn't always necessarily mean it's true. And so for him, this probably was not true that he wore a pot on his head. But that's what they say about him. There are apple trees in many places today because of the work of Johnny Appleseed. So basically, Johnny Appleseed was a man that planted a lot of apple trees. And then he was a helpful man. He was a kind man. So we will learn more about him later. But I love Johnny Appleseed Day. It's one of my favorite things to do all year long. So we'll learn more about that later. But guys, today, let's go ahead and go. Remember that I love you, we love you, and God loves you.